what is the most important skill in life? A few years ago, my mentor, who was a business leader, asked him the same question. Eric, which skill do you want to master the most? Because I was a business leader and I wanted to impress him, I said, I want to master leadership. He smiled and looked at him and said, okay, good start. Then he told me, Eric, the most important skill in life is the ability to deal with people, your people skills, the ability to handle people, the ability to get people to do what you want and get from them what you want. Then I asked why. He told me whatever you do in life is going to be about other people. If you run a business, your clients, your team, whatsoever. If you become a doctor because I was a medical student, it's going to be about dealing with a patient, with teams and all that. I was a little confused. I said, so how can I develop those skills? He did what he always does. He told me, go and search. Then when I arrived home, I started Googling what's the most important skill in life. Then a lot of results came, but there's one that stood out for me by Daniel Webster, who was an American statesman and lawyer. He said something interesting. He said, if all my possessions were taken from me, with one exception, I would choose to keep the power of communication, for by it, I would soon regain all the rest. That means that your ability to effectively communicate is the most important skill which can bring everything else in your life. This resonated back to what my mentor taught me, that if you can communicate to people very well, you can tell them what you want, you can increase the chance to get what you want from them. So that I became interested in communication. Actually, this is how I became more into communication and learned more about it, and later started doing health communication consulting work because I learned so much about it. So in this video, I want to share with you 3 communication skills which complement each other that can transform your life, that can transform your career or your personal life. If you're new to my channel, my name is Eric Nitanga. I'm a master's student at the University of Global Health Equity in the Faculty of Global Health Delivery. For the last few years, I've been working as health communication consultant. I worked with multiple organizations on developing health content for different audiences. And also I'm the author of the book, The 4 Genius Windows, which features 4 ways we look at the world and the way it impacts our lives. So throughout my work, I've learned about communication and I've realized it's a very critical aspect. So I'll use my experience as a communication consultant to share with you just the basic communication skills you need to develop your career. Let's dive into it. There are some careers which are communication intensive, like consulting people, the sales people, the teachers. They need to communicate a lot. Then this makes some other people think like they don't need to communicate. If you're a programmer, you're an engineer, you think like, oh, I just do my work, I don't need to communicate too much. But there are really basic skills in communication that are needed in every career, which will make a significant difference in your career, whatever it is, whether you're an engineer or you're a programmer, or you're a doctor, whoever you are. So those 3 skills are listening, writing, and speaking. So let me take you through one by one. Let's start with listening. This is the most underrated communication skill. Most people who come to me for coaching, they always need to learn how to speak or learn how to write. But very few people are interested to learn how to listen. Many people confuse hearing and listening. When you move around and there's a music going on, I'm hearing that. But when I take time to be intentional to listen to what the things mean and I listen to understand, that's not hearing now, that's when I move from hearing to listening. Why listening is so important for career? One, listening helps us build relationships. Wherever you could be in a business world and in private life, everyone wants to be listened to. So if you can really be able to master the art of listening, your relationships will go to the next level. Secondly, listening is very, very important for learning. Everyone has a story to tell, but when we keep just talking and speaking, we repeat what we know. But when we take time to listen, we can learn something new from other people. We can get ideas and a concept that we can use in our professional lives and improve. And lastly, listening is very important in our career. Let's say if you have a business, listening to your customer needs is the first step to winning a customer heart, and your business will grow. Or if you're an employee, Being able to listen to your boss, get instructions, is a very, very important skill. At this point, the first you need to master in communication is the ability to listen intentionally. The second skill that you need to master is speaking. You don't know if speaking is effective. If you're like me, you might have met somebody who could just talk and talk and talk, but at the end of the day, you didn't get anything. So effective speaking is the speaking that gets you the results. Either you get what you want from other people, or actually you get them to do what you want, or to give you what you want. So speaking comes in different forms. Yeah, you speak on a one-by-one, or in small groups, or in public. Well, most of us, we have conversation one-on-one, but especially in a professional world, speaking in public can be a large challenge.
You're terrified of public speaking?
Yes.
I hate public speaking.
Actually, the research showed that more people fear speaking than death itself. The research done in 1973 about fears of people found that 40% of people fear speaking, followed by heights. This shows that many people would rather die than stand in front of people to speak. So effective speaking has three parts. It should be understood. When you communicate to people in speaking, you should aim to be understood. Use the language they understand, organize your message, and make the message relevant to them. Also, effective speaking is memorable. How do you make people remember what you told them? This way you need to show them what you say. Sometimes you need to use the images, you need to use PowerPoints. How do you make people remember? You break down a concept, you tell people things they can recall. And lastly, effective speaking should be emotional. Because people don't take action based on just logic, that things make real sense. They should be compelled emotionally. That's why in effective speaking, you have to use stories, you have to use a voice that shows people you can compare to their emotions.
I have a dream to be a dancer. And in order for it to come true,
Like if you ever follow like American politics, you can watch how the American presidents do campaigns. Their speeches are not about just the economy developments they are bringing. They usually start with their family, their childhood stories. All these are stories to compel to the listener's emotions. So you also need to develop this skill of effective speaking, how to be understood, make people remember, but also appeal to their emotions. Many people think that speaking is a talent you're born with. I agree there is a level where talents contribute, but speaking, it's a learnable skill. There's an art of public speaking you can learn and master. The third skill that you need to master in writing. So actually this is the most commonly used in professional world. Written words, emails, letters, business plan. In a professional world, communication is usually done through writing. There's an important thing I want to mention here, that most of the times in a professional world, before people can meet you as a person, they meet your document, they meet your CV, they meet your email, and now there's a problem. There's a lot of information coming to people. Maybe if you're a business person, you're sending a proposal to a certain company, they don't have time. They receive thousands of proposals. So there's a challenge in writing skills where you need to learn how to save time of people, and you need to give them a good reading experience so they can respond. So these are the challenges you have to face when you're writing in a professional world. How can I save time? And how can I give them a better reading experience? So there's three things you can do to improve your writing skills. One, be brave, save time. Use as few words as possible to communicate what you need. You need to be concise in your communication. Keep it short and sweet and straight to the point. Secondly, in your communication skills, you need to be clear. Use a clear language, be straight to the point. Try always to keep the message to one idea. Don't mix up things so that people can get it quickly. And lastly, design. Make your writing look good. Don't use long paragraphs. Bring space. By designing your document very well, you increase the chance someone will read it. So by doing this, you can increase the chance to succeed through your written communications. So remember your writing represents you. So make it look great so that people can judge you about your writing and say, oh, someone who wrote this later is a smart person. So you'll be more likely to get what you want. So I hope by now you understand that every communication is not effective communication. So in life, to get what you want from other people, you need to communicate effectively. You need to know what you want, and they should be compelled that you deserve it. I love the quote by Jim Rohn, one of my favorite speakers. He said, by communication you can get by, but when done skillfully, it can do miracles. So go out and learn about communication, master your art of communicating, and see miracles happening in your life. By the way, if you received some value from this video and you want to take your communication to the next level, you want to improve your communication skills in speaking and writing, in my schedule I have reserved time for 5 people who are serious about that, whom I can work with in the next 3 months. If you're interested, check the link in the description below and reach out to me so we can discuss on how I can help you to improve your communication both in writing and speaking. And if you like this video, you will like all this one. It talks how you can use social media to develop your career. Check it out.